This is AHA Business Radio, creating aha moments for business, by business, and about business, providing opportunities to discover information to help you run your business and guide your decision making. The more you know, the better decisions you make. Now, here's your host for AHA Business Radio, Allan Hirsh.
Now, a lot of people have heard of business coaches, but it's one of these things where you're probably flying blind a little bit as somebody who might be interested. What's a coaching session like?
Well, first of all, it starts by really trying to get to know somebody and building a trust. If you can't build a trust with your clients, then you shouldn't be working with them. And if I don't have a trust with a client or they don't trust me, the first thing I would say to them is you need somebody else. But it's really about building trust, building an understanding of each other, and really building a knowledge base of what makes your client tick. So I have a whole series of questions I try to ask before I even talk about engaging in the coaching. It's about learning about them. It's things about their personal vision. What are some of the, how they get in the business, and where do they think the business is going to be in the next 3 to 5 years? Where do they want to be? So it gives me an understanding of where they are. The part of the trust is also that they have to understand that everything we talk about is confidential. I don't use names some of these stories could be generic for a lot of people. I have to be totally confidential. My agreement, for example, has basically 4 parts to it. They can cancel anytime in 30 days notice. They have to be confidential in our group sessions, and I have to be confidential in everything we do. And that's basically, and they pay me a month in advance. That's it. That's the agreement, because we're not comfortable. But a coaching session is so much about asking questions like I do on the radio show and listen. Again, it's not about me. It's not about me. Having been an experienced businessman, it's not about me telling them what they should do. It's about me asking questions and making suggestions and helping them, again, as we talked about before, learning how to make decisions. So it's about asking questions. It's about finding out where they are. Part of it is also, once they make a decision, it's about holding them accountable. Business owners, most of us, we make decisions to do something and then we procrastinate. As a business owner, if you don't have a coach or an advisory board or someone on the outside that holds you accountable for the decisions you make, you might not. It's like someone who has a situation with an employee and just won't fire them. Because there's, again, we talked about emotion tied into the decision. They don't get one of the things I have to do is each session, when we leave a session, they write down for me the things they're going to do, the decisions they make and the things they're going to do. The first thing I do when I come into the next session is ask them what they've done on that list and how they've done it. Have there been any problems? It's about holding them accountable. But it's also, in a coaching session, in helping them learn also how to execute a decision. In making decisions, a lot of people don't, you make a decision, then how do you carry it out? So I like to work with them, and this is all about strategic thinking and strategic planning. And I might have done this on the radio show before, but I like working with them when decisions have to be made, and it depends on the kind of decision. But setting it up strategically is what I call a SMART goal, or actually I make it smarter. But traditionally they talk about it as a SMART goal. When you make a decision and you're going to do something, you have to be specific about what the goal is. You make a decision, what's your goal? And you have to be specific. Is it measurable? If it's not measurable, how do you know whether you've achieved it or not? And that's the A, making sure it's achievable. If you set goals, and I've seen it I know someone who's working for a company as a salesman. New company comes in, buys it. They set much higher goals for him to achieve. They know it's not achievable. He knows it's not achievable. He doesn't get bonuses because now it's not achievable. He's not happy because he hasn't been able to achieve it. The company's not happy because they hasn't met the goals they set. So one of the things I like to do, if you're going to set goals for somebody, set them with the person. Have the person be part of that SMART goal. And the R is actually who's responsible for achieving it. And the T is setting a timeline. When are you supposed to do it? If you don't have timelines, what's going to happen? And then the E is evaluate, and the R is reevaluate. So you're always reevaluating it, what the decision is. And it's, for example, if you hire a bookkeeper, and you want them, decision was to hire a bookkeeper. Okay, what jobs are they going to do? Well, you outline the jobs. How do you evaluate them if you don't give them some kind of SMART goals? They're specific. You want your financial statements. Is it measurable? I want them by the 15th of the month. Is that achievable? How long is it going to timeline? I want them to do it with the first 90 days. You now have and the bookkeeper is now responsible for it. You have set up goals for that person that you can now evaluate on. So, and the decision was to hire some, but just hiring somebody doesn't create an environment that is conducive to both. This also reminds me of one of the, and I think I'm getting off the topic of what happens in a coaching session, but I work with them on the SMART goals. But one of the things I also find, going a little tangent off here, about business owners, too many of them want to be friends with their employees.